I want to thank the mayor and all the officials who just welcomed me here from Hayward and the surrounding communities. And I want to say it's a particular honor for me to be here today because we got a decision to make about America's future, and you represent one choice. This is the third most diverse city in the United States of America. Perhaps California's largest percentage of Asian American and Pacific Islanders, and people from everywhere else besides. This whole election basically is about a couple of very big questions, and it's given a little edge, I might say, because of the extreme and often dangerous things that the Republican nominee has said. I thought Hillary's speech in San Diego about the implications for the world of his becoming the President of the United States were very important and showed why she should be the President. But it's important to recognize that the decision we are making tomorrow and then in November is a decision being made in different ways all across the world. The financial crash did a lot of economic and psychological damage. It not only destroyed incomes and family wealth, it aggravated inequality, and it stunted upward mobility. People came to California forever, from the beginning, because they thought it was a tomorrow place, and it's still a tomorrow place. People come here believing that their dreams can be real and that they can be empowered to achieve them. That's what America is all about. And we are doing better than every other big country on earth. As President Obama said in his last State of the Union address, we have 15 million jobs in the last 5 years. We've got more than 90% of our people with health insurance for the first time in our history. We have 900,000 manufacturing jobs coming back to America. We have the youngest, most diverse workforce of any big economy in the world. We have the best science and technology base. And we have the best system of education and training. We just need to invest first in skills training for people who don't want four-year college degrees. We should redignify skills training so people can make a good living. And then everyone should be able to get out of college debt-free, and the people who have the debt should be able to get rid of it through community service or paying it off like a home mortgage at no more than 10% of their after-tax income a month. So we're in good shape, all right, but the whole world is still dealing with the aftermath of that awful crash. So you have too many people with flat incomes, a resurgence of inequality, a decline in upward mobility, and people feeling very threatened by their identities. It's not just Mr. Trump who said we should build a wall. Other people are dealing with it in different ways. In tiny Austria, a very successful country with a great economy, they just voted by only a half a point for a future of bridges, not walls, because they're afraid of the largest refugee crisis since World War II. You see these kind of things everywhere. When people start having trouble, they try to pit groups against each other. In the Far East, we have trouble with China manipulating their currency when they're doing well. When they're not doing well, they do what politicians everywhere do. They try to stoke nationalist sentiment and muscle in on Vietnam, the Philippines, and other of our friends. And we need a common future in Asia just as much as we need a common future here. So what does all this mean? It means you have to elect a president, first of all, who will get America going again, who will create more and better jobs, raise incomes, reduce inequality, and increase upward mobility. Hillary's got the best ideas to do that. It means you have to include everyone in that race, which is why we've got to finally stop being one of only 7 countries in the entire world that doesn't have a national policy of paid family leave. We need equal pay. We need affordable child care. We'll get more women in the workforce. It means we have to reinforce the Community Reinvestment Act, which requires banks, every place they got an ATM machine, to make money available for people who want to start small businesses, because that's where 2/3 of our jobs are. It means that we can do these things, but we have to involve every area that's been left out and left behind. Hillary was the first person in either party to propose that we give big incentives and dedicated federal investment to every area in America with a persistently high unemployment rate, high poverty rate that is physically and actually isolated from the prosperity that others are making. And you should care about that. If you care about climate change, for example, you should be happy. California leads America in the deployment of solar panels. You should be happy that she wants to put $500 million more up in the next 4 years, but also to go into coal country, no matter who they vote for, and tell them that this Make America Great Again slogan is a code slogan that says, hey, I'll make it the way it used to be 50 years ago. You'll be on top economically and socially. First of all, America wasn't so great for some people 50 years ago. Secondly, saying I'll make you the economy you had 50 years ago is like me saying I'd like to be 25 again. I really would. I'd love to be 25 again, just to see what's going to happen. But that's one thing that's not going to happen. Hillary wants to build a 21st century prosperity that we can all participate in. Inclusive prosperity and an inclusive community, passing inclusive politics. She doesn't want any more Supreme Courts restricting voting rights, restricting labor rights, restricting women's rights. We need to live together and grow together. If you believe we can do that, she's got the best ideas to achieve it. Now, there are 2 other things that are really, really important, which is why it's so important that you take this last day and get everybody you can to vote. The next president can have all the ideas in the world, but some of them have to be enacted by Congress. And it's been really sad to me. I never thought I'd say this, but I genuinely feel sorry for a lot of those Republican congressional leaders. I mean, think about it. Think about how you would feel. They're so proud that they stop everything from happening. How would you feel if you had to get up every day for the next year and literally go into the bathroom, throw water in your face, look in the mirror and say, oh good, I can spend one more day of my limited time on earth making sure nothing good happens for anybody. We got to get the show on the road. She's the only person you can vote for that for some reason and in some way, she always finds a way to get some people from the other party to support the good things she has done. And that's important. Maybe most important of all is we represent in America 21 to 25% of the global economy at any given time. That means most of it somewhere else. And we could be derailed in everything we want to do. We got a chance now to turn back this inequality and increase upward mobility and to raise incomes and to create a whole new economy. We could be turned back by all these troubles around the world. You've got to elect a president who has the knowledge, the experience, the standing, and the vision to go out and not only keep us safe, but give us the space we need to grow so we can lead America and the world away from people who want walls, not bridges, who want division, not unity, who want yesterday's economy, not tomorrow's. Those are the 3 things we have to decide. Hillary wants every American to be a part of tomorrow's economy. She believes unity beats division every single day of the week, and she believes in a world dominated by social media, you can build all the walls you want. California suffered the most recent terrorist act in America in San Bernardino. Those people were converted over the social media. You can build that wall across the Mexican border. It's a dumb idea. We've had no net in-migration from Mexico since 2010, but you could build it. You could build a wall across the Canadian border. There's a lot of foreigners in Canada. Then you could build a seawall across the Pacific, cut us off from a lot of your kinfolks, and now we're in recession. And then you could build one across the Atlantic, and we're headed for a full-scale depression. And if you're worried about the Gulf of Mexico, you could send the Navy down there. Now, we're laughing, but you know I'm telling the truth. You could put up all the airplanes in the Air Force and stop landings. You can't keep the social media out, which is why I am very proud that Hillary was the most outspoken candidate in either race, saying this is nuts to be demonizing our fellow Americans who are Muslims. We need Muslims who love freedom, oppose terror, to get in there and help us prove that our idea of an inclusive American future is the right way to go. So you got one more day here and a few more months. Go out and tell people. You're for tomorrow's economy, not yesterday's. You're for a prosperity we all share. You're for a society we all share. And we can't do it unless every citizen is a part of it, and unless we stop this foolish opposition to immigration reform, which is interfering with our most important asset, the youth and diversity of our workforce. Go out and tell them that the politics of division may work for an election or two, but unity beats division every single time. Our diversity is a strength because of our common humanity. And go out and tell them you can build all the walls you want, you can't keep the world out. So let's build a future with bridges, not walls. That's Hillary. And that's why she should be president. And that's why California needs to bring her home tomorrow, so we can unite our party and go on to victory. Thank you, and God bless you all.